Good evening. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Nicole Hernandez. Mark and Whitney have the night off. Well, after 4 weeks, the trial of Richard Airi is now officially over. He's accused of killing Ruby Doss back in 1986. KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy spent the entire day in the courtroom and has the final arguments from both sides.
Well, the argument for much of today and throughout this entire trial has centered around DNA evidence. Prosecutors say Aguirre's DNA was found on a condom decades after Doss's death, linking him to the crime. But Aguirre's defense team, including with their only witness, argue that DNA is unreliable. Defense attorney Karen Lindholt argues investigators contaminated the evidence like a condom by handling items without gloves. But prosecutors say there's no testimony to support evidence was touched with bare hands. And the state says DNA wasn't the only thing pointing to Aguirre as Doss's killer.
Yes,
that he had choked a woman, but she was alive when I left. Your Honor, the very same injuries that Mr. Aguirre described to Lawrence Cole are consistent with the exact injuries, or primarily consistent with the injuries that Dr. Veena Singh said led to Miss Doss's death.
Anna Wilson testified that she found unknown individuals' partial profiles on Ms. Doss's clothes. They didn't put the partial profiles in a CODIS. Had they done that, maybe we wouldn't be sitting here with Mr. Aguirre on trial for murder that he didn't commit.
Now, this is a bench trial, meaning a judge will make the final ruling on Aguirre's guilt or his innocence, and we are expecting the judge to issue that ruling very soon, December 26th. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Thank you, Shannon. The suspect accused of killing 2 people near Minnehaha Park appeared in court today as well, days after police say he confessed to the murders and helped one of the victims cover up a different death. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is live in Valley Forge with more details tonight. Kyle?
Well, certainly a lot of details to follow in this case. I'm in Valley Forge, just off of South Madison Road. This is where Spokane police recently found the body of 49-year-old Janelle Martinson. Now, according to court documents, the 2 people killed by Minnehaha Park December 8th were both suspects in this woman's disappearance. 37-year-old Colton Russell died from gunshot wounds, and the passenger in his van, 23-year-old Kiara Morgan Wieland, died after being stabbed 51 times. Police arrested 25-year-old Brandon Kelly for their murders. Kenny, he told police that he helped Russell hide the woman's body. Kenny also told police that Russell was worried that he would tell police about the missing woman, and that's why he decided to kill Russell and Wieland. Kenny appeared in district court today where a judge kept bond at $1 million. Today, the medical examiner listed Martinson's cause and manner of death as pending. Reporting live in Valley Forge, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
We have breaking news this evening. Former President Donald Trump is not allowed on the Colorado primary ballot. The state Supreme Court made the landmark decision this afternoon. The justices ruled 4-3 that Trump should be disqualified from the primary ballot under an amendment that bars people from holding office who have taken an oath to support the Constitution and then, quote, engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the Constitution. The Trump campaign already appealed the decision. This, of course, is a developing story, and we will update you as we learn any more. Now to Northwest News, deputies were able to identify another person the Green River killer murdered almost 40 years after her body was found in Auburn. The King County Sheriff's Office says they used new DNA technology to figure out she was Lori Ann Raspotnik. Investigators say she was just 15 years old when she ran away from her home in Lewis County, and nobody saw her again after that. The Sheriff's Office says the girl's mom gave them a DNA sample to help them confirm the identity. Gary Ridgway pleaded guilty to murdering her back in 2003. All right, switching gears here, let's talk weather with our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, because, Jeremy, we've been seeing rain today. How much longer does it stick around?
Well, I think it kind of tapers off tonight, but there is more in the forecast as we get a little closer to the weekend, unfortunately. Rain is wound down and temperatures stay quite mild, 39 degrees across much of the inland Northwest. Already have some reports of fog developing out near Ritzville, have some of that on the South Hill, and That's the pattern we can expect to hang on to. A few scattered showers kind of exiting the region. Notice a little bit of activity up in northeast Washington and far reaches of North Idaho. That continues to wind down. I think we're done with that in the next hour. And then it's kind of these scattered showers that pop up overnight. I think we have a chance of seeing a little more activity here in Spokane or over in Coeur d'Alene. But overall, when it comes to the weather pattern, I think it's kind of back to the one that none of us want. I mean, I'm fine with snow. I'm even fine with rain. I'm fine with mild temperatures. I'm fine with cold. I just don't want the fog. And that's exactly what we get. I think tomorrow is another day characterized by patchy, dense fog, and that patchy, dense fog likely sticks around as we get into the day on Thursday as well, and you get the picture. Afternoon highs in the 40s, overnight lows staying above freezing. There is no chance of decent snow in the forecast, so the odds of a white Christmas are dismal at best. Either way, though, we'll talk that and holiday travel coming up in your full forecast.
Well, an update tonight on the efforts to save the Garland Theater in Spokane's Garland district. People in Garland have been campaigning to keep its doors open for the past almost 8 months now. On Friday, a real estate developer bought the theater, its parking lot, and a few adjacent buildings. We talked with the developer, Jordan Tampion. He's also the co-founder of Brick West Brewing in downtown Spokane. He says they will honor the history of the Garland.
And I thought, you know, how cool if we could bring that back. The dollar theaters, that entertainment as a source of family activity, and really find a way to catalyze the area. We did a project on the west end of downtown, Brick West Brewing, and just the amazing impact of putting a focal activity point that people could come build community in. And we feel like this reimagination of the Garland is going to do the exact same thing. The cool part about this, though, I don't think it's just the Garland that gets impacted. I think what we can do with this theater and the life we'll breathe back into it will have ripple effects throughout the entire Spokane community.
So the official ownership change will happen January 1st. As for the future of the theater and who will now be running it day to day, we'll have that story for you tomorrow morning on Up with KREM. Here's a preview.
Watching things that you care about be thrown away, it's like, well, if nobody else is going to save it, maybe that's my job.
To be able to team up with someone who, you know, completely sees the future for this theater and wants it to last forever, you know, it's pretty exciting to me.